Alright, welcome back, guys. This is still a monthly vlog from the BLDP RAW edition. Commentary is still coming from me, Stan the Man, and the music is still Iron Maiden. Now, before anybody leaves any comments down below saying, Stan, why do we always listen to metal music in most of your videos? Well, it seems appropriate, doesn't it? Let's see, another reason, I can play whatever the fuck I want. And third reason. What's a good third reason for why I listen to metal music in most of my videos? Just repeat the last two reasons. Okay, now moving on. Yeah, now that we got that out of the way. And if you're asking what song we're listening to, this is track number 6. And track number 6 goes with Innocent Exile. I like that song. It's about murder. Alright, anyway, okay, maybe it's not totally about murder, but who cares? Anyway, see, this is why I actually drew this list here, so we can actually, stay focused on what's important. Alright, I'm going to talk about Mortium Kanabal. One of my abominations. Now, I couldn't find that one picture of Mortium Kanabal where she's all God and, she's all gossied up and she's, and she basically looks like somebody who is completely batshit crazy and is very powerful. But I do have an earlier picture. Oh, and let me put this in the right angle so it doesn't look like she has a huge mouth, even though she does. This is, well, before she became what she is now, her name was, Anel Amorosa. Amorosa was the tribe name. Her name was Anel. Which is why, in certain animations or comic strips that I plan on doing, and I make little cameo appearances of various other characters, she will be in it, but her name will be like Anita or Nell or something like that. But hey, anyway, let's go ahead and put her here because the subject matter right now is about her. Okay. This is an actual nice picture of her. Any other previous pictures of her, she's usually eating or she's on a throne made out of human bodies or something like that, But anyway, story behind Mortium Kanabal, for all you who don't know, which is pretty much most of you. Basically, she was... as you can tell, she's not exactly an Earthling. She's from another planet. So, basically, let me go ahead and try to give you like a Cliff Note version of her entire story. Her planet was a very, humble planet. It was like a, and of course, this planet is not anywhere near the solar system. It's in some other system. I haven't thought of a name for it yet. But anyway, yeah. There was a neighboring planet, and they basically siphoned up all their resources. So they decided to go ahead and basically pirate another planet. And when they took over the other planet, the planet that she was on, they basically enslaved the entire, sentient population there. All the humans there on that planet were basically made in slave labor. Yeah. So, yeah, we have that. And let's see, when those other visitors from the neighboring planet enslaved all of her people and started mining her planet for resources, they she was like a child, so she was like maybe 4, and she spent like a good 10 years, about 10 years as a slave. And basically, just hopping right to it, they had like certain slaves, the slaves that she was with, which is actually by accident, but I'll get into that later. But basically, she was working in a strip mine. Her entire village was about like maybe, I have to say, probably about like good 4,000 acres, was basically turned into a giant strip mine. And basically what they did, they just went ahead and they strip mined her village. Her village turned to a giant strip mine, and basically the people that were living in that village became the laborers of that place. Alright, so one day she was starving because they treated all the slaves like shit. You ate like maybe once or twice a day, and you worked a good 18 hours a day. So, and you slept for maybe like a good 3 or 4 hours, depending on what quota that they had to fill for that monthly quarter. But anyway, they decided to go ahead. Basically, one of the slave masters decided to go ahead and, be super abusive to a particular slave that day that was having a bad day. I mean, a bad day even for a slave. So, yeah, and guess who that person was? This person. Now, the slave master went ahead and decided to go ahead and, dump her food out on the ground and told her to get to work. And she got mad, and she was like, I was eating. It's like, are you back talking me? And he started beating the shit out of her. And then basically she snapped, and she just started walking towards the slave master slowly. All the other slaves, basically they were kind of like, whoa, what the fuck is this dude doing? Now Mortium is a female, but everybody thinks that she's a male, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. In another video, another time. Basically, they stopped because they were looking at Mortium getting whipped at point blank range, as she was walking towards her slave master, because she was snapping. She was snapping right then. And basically, the slave master threw, he cracked the whip, and it hit her in the face. This part of her face got gouged. It's like the whip just destroyed that. Which is why in the other images of Mortium, she has that huge scar across her face. But miraculously, she can still see out of that eye. Now, after that, Mortium just lunged at the guy. She just lunged at him. She just, just like a tiger, just lunged at him, and then started to bite him. And basically, she ate the slave master right there. Now, there was already amongst the slaves, millions and millions of slaves, and only like hundreds of slave masters. They were already talking about uprising and mutiny and everything. The reason why they didn't do it before is because, well, they were afraid of these people that came from outer space and enslaved them, and they had these really badass weapons. It's like, whoa, we don't want to fuck with these guys. But Mortium just basically inspired everybody to just go ahead and rebel and kill all your slave masters, and they didn't eat any of their slave masters. Mortium was the only one that was out there eating, or maybe I should say at this point in time, Anel was the only one that was eating. Everybody else was fighting. But then after, that particular strip mine incident was over, the slaves treated her like king, because when she did that, she single-handedly inspired the entire planet to rebel. So Anel was like, she's already batshit crazy now, and she basically was just she just ate the guy. She just ate the guy, and they treated her like king, And they basically made her king, and as you know, just like in the old Egyptian times, they went ahead and they made her a nice, impressive temple and everything. They were treating her like a god until the day that basically they ran out of slave masters for her to eat, because they were like feeding her slave masters as tribute. And basically they ran out of slave masters to eat, so they would find various criminals and after that they ran out of criminals, and Anel was still hungry and they still had to pay tribute. So they were like, what do we do now? We need to get rid of her. That's what we need to do, because she keeps eating. And she's not gaining any weight. She's just eating. She's so tall and lanky, but she just keeps eating. And, well, they had to get rid of her. So they poisoned her food, because they tried to assassinate her in various other attempts, but that didn't work. So they decided to go ahead and just poison her food. They poisoned her food one way, and that didn't work. She just shook it off. She got sick a little bit, went to the bathroom, and basically just took a crap, and then she was fine. So they found another method of poisoning her to kill her. They decided to go ahead and poison, one of her sacrifices. And she ate that person, and she got terribly sick, and then she died. And they were just like, oh, wow, our god has died and shit. So let's go ahead and bury her, and now we don't have to have a god that requires sacrifice anymore. Yay! But I'll tell you a little bit more about what happened later. After that particular incident. But yeah, things did not go according to plan.